is whether it's the small circle or the large circle, whether it's the whole situation or personalization within that. I want to be able to have a conversation as opposed to a fight. Okay? And so I've got to examine my own attitude. You know, I'm viewing this as an attack. So this is a chance just to make sure that everybody sort of gets on the right page about appropriate language, appropriate social behavior, so we get along as a species. Okay, so you see it has ramifications, doesn't it? Large circle, small circle. Okay, so again, as much as it's a form of an attack, in Aikido, you really want to. I'm talking to Grayson here, so don't you see that he's sort of off camera right now. That's okay. Yeah, fine. Social distance, okay? But we're trying to use that to reframe certain paradigms in I'm attacked, I need to defend. No, yeah, it's like, okay. And this is, boom. Well, you see the consequences of that behavior or language. And then, we don't have a fight, but we educate one another, okay? Now, I might be just totally out of it, then he educates me. I was standing flat-footed, all right? All right, it's like Stephen Curry turning the ball over. Yes, it happens, okay, all right? But on the other hand, it doesn't happen twice, maybe, all right? Well, yes. So there's an area right there where we want to sort of larger circle situation, smaller circle, your alignment as a center of that situation. We can fall asleep. I love everything. Yeah, it's too vague. I love everything, but I'm going to make sure I behave responsibly. Okay, and so that area right there, that's what makes Aikido not a form, even though we are practicing a specific situation. Okay, for example, here, this is what we call the small circle, but it's set up with a big circle. I think this is very true. We have it. Okay, now we're going to the other side. We're not changing the harmony. Come on in. Come on in. Now I'll make sure if it's sharp or hard. This is it. Now I'm trapped, except if I'm only trapped here if I can, because if I disengage here, I have that motion. So we're looking at a variety of things. Same stance. Now come on in this way. See, let go to come on in. Okay, good. My advantage. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what we're doing is sliding over to the side. Now, I'm a little deeper, so I have to make sure that, no. Okay, so let's try that one. Let's rotate, work with a different partner. We're sliding to our left, but not changing our harmony. Okay, all right. Yeah. Now you begin to see certain relationships which would translate into, somebody comes in, grabs your wrist, you have to back up sometimes to that motion. This gives us a little better social distancing. Okay. But that's somebody. I'm going to have to move over here. But then again, I'm crossing the path of that, but I can't. Uh, that's a balancing of the larger circle and the smaller circle. Okay, that's so we're not doing specific techniques, but you're dealing with energies, which if we change the situation, it's a physical attack, as opposed to a weapons attack. Then you're still working the same energy. Okay, keep going. Yeah. A little bit more than that. Okay, so he's coming in this direction. Look, do a little bit just because I get a better angle this way. See, you can't finish this way. It's just most of the time people freeze on me. If I move in here, okay. Oops, sorry. You okay? Okay. So there's a variety of different footwork there. All right. Or you can just slide. You sort of have to say, okay, it's a situation, but the situation has its own uniqueness in the moment. So you may have a broad approach for it, but within that approach, you're flexible, you're alive. That's very important. Okay, all right. Oh. Yeah. When you go that way, you create more energy and movement than you want. Okay. When I'm asking you now I just kind of blew the whole thing there, but okay. You're putting your weight out here. Come on. Whatever. It was a different. I didn't insert that one. But you're here. Boom. That's the energy. Now right there. Come in, right. Boom. Go that way. So careful. Maybe long and maybe sharp or pointy. So one of the things, somebody grabs your wrist, or essentially put your weight out there to move them. Your weight is the center. That's the small circle. Yep. That's very alive. And certain things, I zig over here. Okay, I bought myself a little time. All right. And so, one of the things we're doing is we're kind of training ourselves to be pretty cool. Second, I go in there. Okay. There's an old Superman story where he's Clark Kent, but he can see through walls in here. So there's a couple having it. This would be an argument. Okay. And without going into the whole plot, he goes in there as Superman. Superman's not supposed to be a marriage counselor. He botches the whole thing up real bad by all of a sudden going there as the living God. You'd be surprised. It was I don't want to go into the story. But, there's a point where, okay. And there's a point where, yeah. And, if it looks abusive, call the cops. Don't go in there as Superman. You say it's a human situation, solution. If the meteor is going to crash in, we're in Metropolis.
David, if you can hear me, we lost audio and video.
So what I want you to do is just that's better. See how much freedom you have when you don't put your weight out there into it. The second I put my weight out there into it, I'm doing that because I just you're not too far away from it. Okay. You know, there's a couple of times when I was training with Tojima Sensei that he had an opening. And so I go in there, but he fixed it so fast. It was actually much more entertaining than him doing the technique the way it was, in class. I was going, wow, because I could feel the adjustment he made because I got him, which you're not supposed to have that sort of ego when you're training. pull a rabbit out of a hat. It wasn't the there's a couple of things like that. She's like, oh, wow, what was that? Well, it was, you know, basically he was asleep and I went in and he was surprised, but he recovered. Okay. And so, the thing is you can get really good at a pattern. But what I notice these days is that people don't develop that ability to be extremely flexible. A lot of it, yeah, on the mat, there's a larger circle that's you and your partner within, but there's you as that point in the middle of the circle. Also training is not supposed to be a kata, although most of us, we fall asleep, it is a kata. Okay, so that's the challenge of it. And so, that's not, by the way, the norm. In Japan, people get really good at patterns. All right. But, I had the same thing happen with Ano Sensei. Is that, you could argue, well, maybe the so and so has better technique, but those two could adapt and they could pull things off. That's pretty scary in a good way. Wow. I never expected that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to hold this for a little bit. Oh, depth. I think I just need to fit it better. But see, right about here, that's quicker. Right. Now, right about here, for example, is a larger circle. If I'm surprised, yeah. So you're always balancing that. Who are you in that moment? Okay. We're all wearing masks. There's a circle going on. It's called a pandemic. Now, within that, can I be so out of it? Or so clear about certain things? Or am I
For what it's worth, AV is gone again.
without losing the larger circle. Because if I'm just in the larger circle, I can't adapt. Okay, I understand social behavior, but not the nuance of it. Okay. I've got to disengage. Right? Now, this is a quick solution, but let's. Okay. So that part of it, there's an area where, I've been in this situation. Okay. But like in sports, a lot of times the defense creates a decoy. So, the quarterback or in basketball, the ball handler thinks it's something, but it's just disguised coverage. All right. And okay, I can handle the usual stuff, but the little things will pretend to that. Then we'll all of a sudden double team or something. Okay. Once I've made up my mind, essentially just why there's going to be a little wrinkle. So if I don't have that other circle, so what I try to do is I try to small, even though there's an outer situation, there's that inner clip. So as he's coming in this direction, boom. Now right about there, if I'm asleep, he takes the leg. Boom. So look at, but if he just tries to take the leg, that's easy. Now I'm going to disengage a little bit without hitting him in the face. Okay, we got that motion, and then we have that motion. Okay. Try. You're playing that little circle, even though you're in the big circle. That's what Tojima Sensei had. There's an outer form, and for whatever reason, his mind wasn't there, and so I had an opening, but he had that inner circle. So he did something better. Okay, yeah, that's, that's better. That's better. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Now, one of the things right there, for example, if we go this way, yeah, then we're disengaging here, but we're not asleep. If you come in this direction, then see, we see. Right now, that gets me to here. Okay. Now, what I want to do right there, the tendency right here, I get a little bit more social distancing here. Putting my weight there. And that becomes very important because sometimes I put my weight out there in the circle, I lose the small circle. Doesn't matter, the situation can be whatever it is, life puts you in some very weird ones. But if we lose ourselves, you cut out there, it can get nuts. First time is fine with people do. But these days, people that the pandemic, everybody's weird these days, we just been in this thing too long, right? And so, the ability to adapt is very important. Small circle, large circle. If you're coming in this direction, that's a small circle. Now this is a bigger circle. But, sometimes I'm going to get caught, and I need to, within that, I'm not going to be quite as prepared for the situation. But I'm not ready for it. I need that smaller circle. Okay, so you kind of need both. Okay, all right. It'd be better if you spaced a little bit better, okay? It's because, it's like, no, just did this. I blew the whole thing easy on this side. A little higher, good. Okay, so you get the transition. Now, right about there, to see if I'm too close, I'm already here. Now, now right here, if I just go this way, then, there's all the consequences right here. So we go over here a little bit. Okay, now, whoops, or turn away. Okay, good. Turn away. No, well, if you do that, there's an adaptation. But I'm saying keep going that way. Okay. Good. Now, good. Now, you missed this. Okay. Huh? And really, the situation, even though there's a form to it, has an unfolding. And so what I want you to do is create more space. What happened the first part of the year for the Warriors? Curry wants to do something, but his dumb new teammates are standing in the way. Yeah. But on the other hand, it's sorting itself out, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So it took some time. So on the other hand, where am I supposed to be? This is confusing. Yeah, the Warrior offense is pure motion. It's not so much you're going to want to play. It's just that, okay, you move there, I move here. I move over there, I create this for you. All right? Boom, 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 boom. So within that, well, okay, that's a larger circle. It's somewhat a complex circle. But I'm also here. I'm still positioned here, which means you position over there. I go this way, you go that way. But then there's the defense trying to catch up with that, right? We're not a basketball team, but kind of that way. That's kind of what you want. Okay. So what I'm asking you to do is go a little. You're still kind of caught up in putting your weight out there. Okay. Hold there for a bit. Back up about 6 inches. Good. Now relax. Good. Now. Okay. Good. 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 Now. Then, yeah. Now you see how that extra 6 inches opens the whole floor up for you. All right. All right. Other than that, Curry's dribbling the ball because nobody else knows what to do. That's fine. I'd like to have him dribbling the ball most anybody else, but he throws the ball to somebody else, and he's a part of that flow that they don't see. Right? Yeah. The only place you see LeBron make off the ball, not too many. Most GMs want a ball dominant superstar. And Curry's not that. He's more dangerous when he gives the ball if his teammates know how to move with him. And now they're starting to learn that. They're even starting to make shots. Wow. Okay. Let's move on in here for a bit. Okay. Again, socially spaced. We say socially distant, socially and responsibly spaced. Okay. So you see that? If you want to be in the picture, move back a little bit more. Okay. Right. Okay. Circle is situation, but it's motion. It's aliveness. Okay. Now, there's a you can the most people kind of look upon the center as kind of like a post column, but I want you to see it as a smaller circle. See, within this can be going this way, and the smaller circle can be going that way, and you see how the larger circle is going this way, but then all of a sudden, that's linear. The relationship of the circle, larger, smaller circle. You're the smaller circle. The larger circle is situational. Yeah. Okay. And what makes Aikido kind of different is instead of winning, you're liberating yourself. And by liberating, you don't want to lose. What you're seeking is liberation. Another word for it is enlightenment. I get too much that way. I don't know the difference between the situation and me. Okay? Women deal with it because it tends to be a sexist world, right? And that's a pain in the butt. All right? Just in the G League bubble, somebody called Jeremy Lin, Chinese American, coronavirus. Yeah, nothing wrong with saying coronavirus, but within that context, it was a racial statement. He was right to speak up about it. And when you start to do that, it's like, okay, people of a certain color or a certain gender are. You're putting your weight out there where it doesn't belong. I don't like that, but it's not hurting anybody. I'll keep my attention on it and be cool with it. That's hard. And if need be, I'll get involved, but I'll get involved from my center, not with my weight out there. Okay? And so that part of it is very important. If you meet somebody who basically is already locked into a judgment, which he is, and he's not a racist, that whatever. But you stay cool. He'd be right there if he attacks you or something like that. You're conscious of the fact that that's not easy. See, you're awake with the situation. Okay. And by being, you're ready to act, and you may not have to act at all. Okay. But that's what you might loosely call it, liberation or enlightenment. Yeah, what we really want basically is to be in accord. And we're trying to create harmony in situations where maybe it's a very locked thing. It's very easy to go out there and lose that inner circle, which is you. And I do that here by looking out there, putting my weight out there. And when I'm doing that, I'm a part of it, and I'm freezing as part of that situation. That's the boom. I hear a lot of things are possible. He moves in this direction, we're over here. He sweeps for the legs, we're over here, but we insert ourselves in here. Okay. And I'm choreographing it somewhat, but what I'm trying to say is that you really want to develop that as well. This is crippling pandemic is how we are in that. You want to be that's your adaptability, your personal power within the larger situation. You lose this, you either get crushed by it or you put your weight out there. It drags you in directions you don't want to be dragged. Okay? So the Aikido is very important now. One thing we can do, let's say he's coming with a yokel man. He's big, he's gonna win this. You're hassling me. Okay, so I'm going to talk to your supervisor about your conduct. Okay, other than that, I'm going to fight with you, and you're going to beat me. Somebody who's stupid is better at it than you are. And if you start to fight them, they drag you down. They've had more practice. We don't want to get practice of being stupid. Okay, so part of it, he's coming in with a yokelman motion. I'm kind of what we call more the Gedan position. Yeah, okay. What I'm going to do is not get caught up in throwing mud back at him. I'm just going to try to appeal to his basic humanity. Okay, you see the practice of it? It's so easy to get caught up in a reflex this way. We're going to go, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. See, you're not weak there. You're open. All right? Somebody may be locked into a judgment about you. But the second I kind of say, okay, enemy, I lock into a judgment about them. And so one of the things we're doing right here is boom. You come in, it's just all of a sudden, he begins to realize there's another dynamic here. I don't want to stand here as somebody with better position and more clout than him. Okay? I don't want to win here. I want to be part of a different situation. Okay? In other words, I want the situation to be different. I don't want to beat him. I want to be in tune with him. But the other part is I don't want to get swept away by his judgment. So I want to be able to make my point and stand out of the way. Okay? Let's change partners to yokelman attack. Okay? You see right there, how much does his intention weigh? How much does his intention weigh? Nothing. Yeah. So we're not trying to beat his weight. No, you have the weight advantage there. He has the speed advantage. Okay, you're a 7 foot back to the basket center, and he's Stephen Curry behind the 3 point line. He's going to win. They create that situation again and again, right? A lot of the big guys are the league now because they can't handle that. What was it? Give it to the big guy. Done. Oh, big guy's toast out there. Oh my God. You know, it's a very interesting thing. The Warriors are funny that way because one thing they did, and it was not obvious, was last year they actually had no wing depth when Thompson went down and Durant failed. So they got credentials, you know, and they also got Oubre. But guess what? Overnight, they have a couple of really great wing defenders. And, you know, the genius of their team was that, you know, Iguodala, Livingston, Durant, Green, Thompson, they were all basically wing length people with the exception of Durant. He was an anomaly. But he played wing. The whole sense of defense in the league now is based on your wings, not on your defensive center. My thought is that hopefully what they're going to do with Weissman is he gets a little better. He's going to learn to play out in the wing, you know, play and do the stuff he's doing. But, you know, that area right there. So one of the things there is that, you know, the old paradigm is you meet that out there. But here, well, what do you have to have as a wing? Okay. You have to have wingspan. To come with a yokel, man. Yeah, just like boom. If I'm like this, yeah, boom. Those guys are. I mean, you know, these days I Google players. I Google wingspan. I don't know what Oubre's wingspan is, but I know that Wiggins is 6'11", 7 foot, which means you know he's basically a super athletic wing, but he plays much bigger. And Oubre's, yeah, I mean, he was a real pain in the butt, and all of a sudden, he's good. He's got the athleticism, but he also, I have to Google his wingspan. But I think he's got wingspan. Okay? Now, what we're doing right here is this wing. You want to come in that way. Someone else bigger, but my hand's getting in the way of passing lanes. Like Andre's used to, or Sean's used to. You see what I mean? You know, Draymond can, even Steph, playing great defensive shit. So, you know, that defense based on wingspan. You got athleticism and wingspan. We got two of those now. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. I mean, we're not great, but we don't know how good we're going to be. I like that. Okay, but you see the difference right there? Okay, let's take a quick look. Let's take a quick look. Okay, come on in. Okay, what I want us to do a little bit. Yeah? Boom. Now we're going to take him out of context for a bit. Okay. It's more than just getting your stick out there in his nose. And what I'm just trying to say again is, you know, it's obvious you can't help me. We just keep doing this. I want to talk to your supervisor. As opposed to talking to you for 90 minutes and getting really fouled up. It's like, you know, we've had enough of a conversation. Give me your supervisor. Then the cop out is, well, give me your phone number. They'll call you with it the next day, and you never get a call. That's another issue. But you see the feeling right there? Physically, this is this. But there's something happening here which is a little different, isn't it? So even though, the larger, and sometimes, for example, he comes in, you cut a little short, boom, boom, get your back, very quick. Okay? This is kind of the larger circle. It's big, it's vast. You're part of that vastness. But sometimes you get caught short. But you're back. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? So that becomes very important if he comes in this way. All right. First thing I do, that's habitual. And the situation always creates me to do this. Well, guess what? You get to reprogram. Now, if he comes in here, okay, that's a little circle. That gets me to where the big circle can happen. Okay? No sense I was saying create peace. He's talking about the situation in the world, which means it's like this. But you can't be asleep. Okay? So yes, and sometimes you'll get caught a little short, like for example here, you get caught. That's what I found with Kojima Sensei at one time. It's like, oh, he made a mistake. Okay, boom, and all of a sudden, boom. It was all very, 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 very. I mean, it was. Sorry about that. It was like, wow, that was better than the original technique by about a couple of light years. Okay, because I just, wow. And so what I'm asking you to do a little bit is make that a part of your training as well. Okay? Now here, let's say she's coming in with a Yokelman attack. Even if I'm kind of something here, come on. I'm quite a little short, but then we're back to the larger circle. Okay? We're not going to be prepared for anything, but we can have an alignment to ourselves. See, what happens is situation is too, I don't have this. And so this comes in here, it's like, boom, I get overwhelmed. On our best day and our worst day, this is what we need to be. Okay, so if we're a little short or something, it's like boom, boom, boom. Okay, boom, go back. Okay. So that part of it is very important. Train on both levels. The larger movements, for example, are the techniques, and they also include the nuke, which we can't do right now. But what we can do is realize what that is. Okay, that whole thing. Yes, you're working with this person on this technique, but you're also there, free, adaptable. You're not going to disrespect the movement. Teacher says that, you do it. But if she's coming in this direction, we go boom that way. Now right about there, she can start to kind of fish for my legs or something, so I can go over here. Now she wants to come in this direction. Just still. Now we can go this way, or we can pass. See, the second I go this way, be a little firmer on them. I don't want to beat her in a contest of strength. I just want to say, let's just both explore different ways of thinking. You see what I mean? Much as we like the philosophy of Aikido, we still get dragged into the stupidity of the world. That's almost guaranteed, but that's supposed to be part of our training. Okay, so we're adding on. So as the attack is coming, talk to the supervisor. Don't argue with somebody who doesn't know what to do. Okay, or what I'm doing right here. Okay, now right about there, that's the danger area. Now come on in. That was a little circle. She swings to the side, they're still extended. Now we can go immediately here, but I want you to create a bigger circle. Position here. The conversation is still going on. Now the conversation is still going on. We're not beating anybody. We're winning over ourselves. It has to win. That gets us out there locked in to a role. Some of it destructive these days. We're having a conversation, which means you gotta be able to, there's a give and take. But don't lose yourself. You're always there. That's your center, which can move, adapt. If the larger circle collapses in on you, you have this to get back to the larger circle. Okay? All right? Let's change partners. We're going this way. Disengaging. Well, we could just go this way, but I want you to stretch it out a little bit more. Long form, you remain all day. Okay? With this, the social distancing is better. So let's do this. Let's change partners. Oh, let's try. Come on in. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's let's everybody come on in. Socially spaced. Okay. We're going to go through the 30 movements. Okay. Now, one thing I was going to do, I had some certificates, which I forgot. Okay. I forgot to bring them, but I had them printed up, so my apologies. But let's form a couple of lines, socially spaced, okay, and try to get somewhat within the, so we go through movement 1, movement 2, movement 3, movement 4, 5, 6, 7, goes up and down, 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay? Let's take that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay? Now, what I thought I'd do is introduce something a little different. Okay? The movements 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? We have 4 corners. Boom, 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 boom. Now, what I just did is a linear sequence, changing the corners. First here, raise, come down to a different corner, cross, cut. So make sure you have some more room. But what I want you to be able to do is whoa, whoa, boom. Then the whole thing starts to transform a bit. You make the circles bigger, or you can make the circles smaller. Okay? But I want you to be able to take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and space a little bit more. You don't have to necessarily be in the camera, okay? But if somebody goes like this and takes your face out, that's not going to do very well. Okay, so go. Okay, watch for a bit. Okay, so things. For example, I pick a corner. We go here, boom, here, here, boom. The ability to change the front, back, into the four corners, you're starting to understand the circle. Okay, there's an outer and an inner. If I just go here, that's good for learning the form. But we go this way, we may have to turn and go that way. We go this way, we go this way, we may have to turn and go that way. We go this way, okay? Looking around, but all of a sudden, I'm back, boom. Okay, so that's what we're working on a little bit, is just taking those basic movements. That's why it's not a kata. Okay, all right? So spread out a couple more. Um, okay, moving like a particle, you do that good. Once you start to move as a wave, boom, as a wave, as a wave. Okay, a little bit more, a little freer. Yeah, okay, good. Because your particle move is great, but now open to a different dimension. Okay, so keep going. Yeah, okay, so much more fluid, much more fluid. Okay, if you were at the Battle of Sekigahara and you get pulled away from your clan and you've got a spear and you got about 10 guys coming at you, you're going to have to work that. You see, I mean, you're not going to win particle. You win one-on-one particle wise. You got to be like Musashi, right? Musashi understood the wave, okay, which is a larger circle, really. Okay, keep going. Okay, now we're just going to take the second, okay, which is 10. This is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Now, what I'd like you to be able to do, so we were mentioning to Steve, quantum physics, light's both a particle and a wave. Okay. When you're learning the back and forth of this, you're getting the particle side of it. But when you're starting to work the four corners, you're basically starting to, oh, 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 you're starting to understand yourself as a wave. Okay? So let's go through the 10 movements in sequence linear. Then we're going to shift into the waveform of it. Okay? So from here, this is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's the second 11 through 20. Now try the same thing. Now, if you try to take the particle into the four corners, it's still the particle moving. You're not touching dimension of the wave. You need them both. Okay? So I'd like you to try it. Try to the four corners. Four more minutes. Okay, just a little intro. Let's go back, go to full 30. Okay, got a couple more minutes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, now, this time, we're going to do the whole thing as one, which is a shift, the beginnings of particle to wave. Okay, so okay, now you're not changing the particle form. It's the beginnings of a shift from particle to wave. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm just going to say go. See if you can try that on your own. You have to know the linear sequence to do that. Okay? But if you get stuck on the linear sequence, you get stuck in that particle area. Okay? So ready? And this time I'm just going to watch, so go. Yeah. See? That's the beginnings of the wave happening. You feel the difference? Because your particle's really good. Okay, but I just want you to start to work on that wave as well. Okay? You got a couple of minutes. Try one more. And I think you probably better go to that. Okay, I think that's probably it for today. A couple of things. Little online action extra the next couple of weeks. Tomorrow is it's the semi-annual. We usually host it but it's going to be virtual. It's the CAA. Goes to 10, goes to 12 training, and then there's going to be a short, I think short, meeting. Okay. I mean, nobody usually except me stays for the meeting anyway. But I'll be teaching the last class tomorrow for Division 3. Okay. You need, if you want to go, you need to go to, AI-KIDO, the AI-KIDO.org. And register. Okay, it's not so easy as just going up there, signing in and everything like that. This is all registration. They send you a unique link with your own password, believe it or not. Okay, so if you're going to do it, which would be nice, uh, please do that. Okay, yes.
Have you sent the link out yet?
Can we what?
Have you sent the link?
No, they send you the link.
Oh,
I don't have anything to do with it, except I'm going to be teaching. We're all part of TAA. So you go to the website, okay, ORG, yes. And then there's a sign up thing. You got to hunt for it, unfortunately, but I'm sure most are used to that. And then you sign up, and then they email you, and they're slow. Believe me, I didn't get anything for about a week. And I'm sure they're going to get inundated, but I'm sure you'll wake up tomorrow with a link. Okay. If you don't, I don't know what else to say. But what?
this is for tomorrow?
From tomorrow, yes. Okay. And then the following weekend, it starts at 3, goes till 5. I think there's how many people? 1, 2, 3. Just 3 of us, but Mary and I are going to be Saturday, March 6th, 3 to 5. It's going to start out with Tijal Bell. Okay. And then we take each about a half hour. Okay. And it's a Division 1 Sensei Revisited. Usually we have that in Occidental, and you know, you can go out there and commune with the redwood. This year it's online like everything else. So it's the same thing. You know, I don't even think they're charging for it. I'm not sure, but you know. So anyway, that's the next 2 weekends. Okay. Yeah, well, I intend to be here. I actually intend to be out here because I'm going to be inside teaching that class. I enjoy getting out, you know. 3 to 5. Yeah, it's 3 to 5, so we can do both. I mean, because you can't, you know, you can do both or you can do one. It's up to you. I got it pretty much. I'm choosing to do both, so I'll be here a week from today. Okay. All right. Okay. It's all lined up. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.